We spend our entire lives thinking we see the world.
We wake up, the sun hits the floorboards. We watch the steam rise from a coffee mug, and we assume that's the whole story.
But what if I told you that everything you've ever touched, everyone you've ever loved,
is just a thin, colorful skin stretched over a reality we can't even begin to imagine? Right now, in the very air between your face and the screen, there's a war happening.
There are creatures with glass armor and sapphire eyes dancing in the dust. There are waves of energy, ancient signals from the birth of time, passing through your skin without leaving a mark. We are like people living in a massive, ornate mansion who have never bothered to look through the keyhole of a locked door. Today, we're going to pick that lock. We're going to peel back the layers of the mundane and look at the unseen worlds. This isn't just about science or gadgets.
It's about the hidden architecture of our lives. It's about the things that are too small, too fast, or too strange for our eyes to catch, but that make our existence possible. Let's start small. No, smaller than that. Think of the smallest thing you can see, maybe a grain of sand or the tip of a needle. To the inhabitants of the micro world, that grain of sand is a mountain range. If you look into a single drop of pond water, you aren't looking at a liquid. You're looking at a crowded metropolis.
There are predators there with names like lion's mane that hunt with chemical harpoons.
Every breath you take is a gift from an unseen forest of phytoplankton in the ocean. Tiny green specks that produce half the oxygen on Earth. You've never seen them, you'll never meet them, but you owe them every heartbeat. Our eyes have a frame rate. We see the world at about 20 frames per second. It's a comfortable speed,
but it's also a blindfold. There are things happening all around you that are simply too fast for your brain to process.
And then there's the slow world, the things that move so gradually we mistake them for being still. Trees are locked in a slow-motion wrestling match for light. Roots are screaming through the soil,
communicating through fungal networks that act like a biological internet.
We call it still life, but that's just our arrogance. Nothing is still, we're just moving at a different rhythm.
Imagine if you could see ultraviolet light.
The flowers in your garden would suddenly have landing strips on their petals.
Or imagine seeing an infrared.
The world would never be dark.
You would see the lingering heat on a chair where a friend sat.
We live in a soup of energy.
If we could see it all at once, it would be overwhelming, a blinding, chaotic masterpiece of color and vibration.
Let's talk about the biggest lie your senses ever told you, the lie of solidity. When you sit in a chair, you feel the resistance. But physics tells a different story. If you took an atom and blew it up to the size of a football stadium, the nucleus would be the size of a marble in the middle. Everything in between, it's empty. It's nothing. You aren't actually touching the chair.
We are made of ghosts and empty space, held together by laws we are only just beginning to map. These unseen worlds aren't just out there in the stars.
They're inside us.
Think about the last time you felt tension in a room. We have this invisible infrastructure of emotion and chemistry that binds us together. When you see a stranger cry, your mirror neurons reach out across the invisible gap to say, I see you. We've spent this time looking at the now, but the unseen world isn't just about what is small.
It's about what is patient. Beneath the surface of our frantic lives, there is a clock ticking in the dark, a clock that doesn't count seconds but eras.
To truly see the world, we have to stop looking at the hour and start looking at the bow. Let's go down into the whispering earth. Look at those lines in the rock. To us, they're just scenery, but to the earth, those are the pages of a diary.
Each layer of sediment is a snapshot of a world that was once the present.
We call it deep time.
Trees aren't just lonely pillars of wood. Through the wood wide web, they talk to each other. They share warnings and nutrients.
It's an invisible act of love that's been happening for 300 million years. The most profound unseen world is inside your own veins. Your DNA is an ancient library. You carry the unseen memories of people you've never met.
We are the culmination of millions of years of survival.
Every ancestor who was strong enough to survive is whispering to you.
Everything we've talked about, the bacteria, the atoms, the stars, it only makes up about 5% of the universe.
The rest,
dark matter and dark energy.
We are standing on the edge of a cliff, looking out into a vast, dark ocean of the unknown. The most important parts of your life are the ones you can't see yet. We are a mosaic of everything that came before us. The trees, the water, the ancestors who survived the cold. We are the story the Earth has been writing for 4 billion years.
But every story has a margin.
Every map has an edge where the ink runs dry. We've mapped the dirt and the DNA, but we are still surrounded by a silence. It's time to leave the ground behind. It's time to face the shadows that hold the stars in place and the mysteries in our souls. The echo of the infinite. The most profound unseen world isn't out there in the stars.
It's the space between what we know and feel.
We live on a fragile island of perception in a dark ocean of mystery. There are some things that simply refuse to be measured. They are the glitches in the matrix. The moments where the physical world seems to thin out and something vast and silent peeks through.
For a long time, we thought we had it figured out. We counted the stars, measured the planets, and we felt pretty smart. But the math stopped working. The galaxies were spinning too fast.
Something was holding them together. Something heavy. Something massive.
We call it dark matter. It's right here, passing through your living room, passing through your heart, as if you aren't even there. Everything you see is just a tiny bit of foam on top of a deep, dark sea.
We are the 5%. The unseen is the rule. In the quantum world, a particle can be in two places at once. It can be a solid object or a wave of energy. The moment we look at these particles, they settle down. It's as if the world is a vast, unwritten poem until someone reads it. You think of a friend, and the phone rings. You feel a sudden pull to take a different route home. We call it coincidence.
Maybe love isn't just a chemical. Maybe it's a physical force, like gravity, that pulls on us across distances we can't map. We drown out the unseen with constant chatter.
But when you find true silence, the unseen world starts to speak.
The vacuum of space is boiling with virtual particles that pop in and out of existence.
Silence isn't an absence. It's a presence.
It's the canvas on which the universe is painted. Most of us are so busy looking at the paint that we forget the canvas exists.
Because the unseen worlds remind us that we are small but significant.
You are made of stardust, held together by quantum ghosts.
The unseen world takes away our arrogance. It turns a look at the stars into a conversation with the infinite.
Tomorrow morning, look at the dust motes dancing in the light.
Listen to the silence between your heartbeats.
Feel the air.
Don't just look.
Observe.
The world is bigger than you think.
And the most beautiful things are the ones you've been looking at. Keep looking.